Adam Schiff and his staff. He is the only individual in America
for a public hearing
who knows.
You want to question the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee?
Yes, I would, because he is the only person who knows who this whistleblower is. He refers to himself as a Ken Starr. Ken Starr testified. How many times did he meet with the whistleblower? What did he talk to the whistleblower about? Because when the whistleblower even went to the Inspector General, he never mentioned that he went with Adam Schiff. Remember what we're talking about today, Margaret, the removal of the President of the United States. This should not be taken lightly. We should have all the facts. The public deserves the facts, not something that's leaked. We're 3 weeks since the very first hearing inside there, the deposition. We still do not have the transcripts. You have members of Congress who just voted to justify what has already happened without ever reading one word of what's gone on. That is what is wrong. We need accountability.
For the record, the attorney for the whistleblower says that his client has not met with Adam Schiff. A member of the committee did talk to the whistleblower about procedural matters. But I spoke to the whistleblower's attorney just last night, Mark Zaid, and he told me that an offer has been made, and this is new, to Republicans to answer questions directly put to the whistleblower by Republicans, not going through the Democratic-controlled committee, but to answer them in writing, under oath, under penalty of perjury. What is your response to that offer?
Well, Margaret, I have never received that offer, and I'm the lead Republican in the House.
It was submitted to Devin Nunes, who is the ranking member on House Intelligence.
Well, when was it submitted to him? Because Devin had not told me about that prior to today. Well, Devin's in California, so let's see how they submitted. But first of all, we're talking about the removal of the President of the United States. Just as the Speaker of the House said in March, it has to be so compelling, so overwhelming and bipartisan. I think if the whistleblower should come forward in an open hearing and also bring the 6 people that he talks about inside his complaint that he said talked about other issues as well. Now, we have the transcript.
So would you, as
leader,
have
more knowledge than the whistleblower.
As leader, though, are you just completely turning down the opportunity to submit questions in writing? For you, that is not sufficient?
No. As an American, and that everybody should know and have accountability, you're talking about the removal of the presidency. We watched Adam Schiff lie to the American public that he did not know who the whistleblower was.
So you are open to it? I'm just not clear on that. To the first offer of answering questions through writing, but then if Republicans submit their own questions directly, are you open to that? Because it would bypass Adam Schiff.
No, let me be very clear, Margaret. What I'm open to, when you're talking about the removal of the President of the United States, undoing democracy, undoing what the American public had voted for, I think that individual should come before the committee. He could come down to the basement, but he needs to answer the questions. We need an openness that people understand this. Remember what you're asking. You're going to change the course, the very fabric of democracy today, based upon someone wrote a written question of somebody that wasn't even on the phone call, that had hearsay, even though we all know what the transcript said?
Well, Mike Pence would become president. It wouldn't undo the election results. If the president were removed, Mike Pence would become president.
Margaret, you're really saying today on national television that somebody who was not on the phone call, that you have the transcripts of the phone call, no big deal, just remove the President of the United States over a phone call?
No, I'm just saying that it wouldn't undo the election. It would put the vice president in the commander-in-chief spot.
No. President Trump was duly elected as the President of the United States. And I think democracy is too precious to think that somebody who's not on a phone call, that cannot stand before the American public, and answer the questions, that somehow we would change the course of that. And we're 1 year away from today. What are they so afraid of? What do they have to hide? Why wouldn't they release one item? If you are a jury member, you have to look at all the information. You don't just get the prosecutor to give you one line from an opening statement. You get cross-examinations. You get a due process. None of that is happening here today. We have never gone down this in America, and we should stand up and not allow this ever to happen.
All right. Well, we have some questions you just laid out there to put to Majority Leader Steny Hoyer. Thank you for joining us there from New York. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Margaret.
You just heard from Leader McCarthy that this is just a wholesale rejection of the way Democrats are laying out this impeachment inquiry.
Margaret, you know what I say is when lawyers have a statement that when you have the facts, you pound on the facts. When you have the law, you pound on the law. When you neither have the facts nor the law, you pound on the table. What you just heard from my friend, the minority leader, was pounding on the table. It talks about the whistleblower. The whistleblower said, look, I heard something. Then people investigated what he heard. Mm-hmm. And the problem that Kevin has and the Republicans have is witness after witness after witness says, yes, I was there, I listened, those are the facts. That's what's critical in any trial. You wouldn't call the whistleblower. What you call is the people who are actually there, which is what Adam Schiff has done, acting as an investigator. Mm-hmm. And in the investigations in both Nixon and Clinton, you had a special prosecutor. They investigated it confidentially.
Right.
And Republicans said that was the right thing to do. Now we passed a resolution that says we're going to move to a public hearing, where all the transcripts, all the depositions are going to be made known to the president and to the members of Congress.
When do public hearings begin?
I think relatively soon.